They keep on saying this fight's going to happen. And once again, this fight may happen, but further down the future.
Yep, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTV. This is Chan Tuck Boxing. I am your boy, Jay Slay. So what up to him, man?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
What do you think about that? What do you, who do you, from an Earl Spence fan perspective, who do you really put the blame on for the fight not happening this year? And are you kind of nervous about the fact that Crawford is actually facing an opponent before the fight can possibly happen?
I say put the blame more on the business of boxing. I think the biggest blame is not Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. I think the biggest blame is the people behind, you know what I'm saying, with the suits and ties, like people would say, you know, PBC, Showtime, you know, the attorneys and so forth. I think they the ones that's making the fight the most difficult to make. I think PBC is somewhat still reluctant to make the fight without having Terrence Crawford signed. I think they want him to be signed to PBC. I think that's one of the problem with the transparency. That's the rumor supposedly that he wants transparency as far as want to know what you know, look at the books as far as, because a lot of his money gonna be back end money, so he wants to know what's in the book so he can see exactly how much he's supposed to get paid, which makes sense. But I think PBC is reluctant to do it because they don't want somebody in their business that's not with the company per se. So I think that's one of the main reasons why they bumping heads. Is like the ugly business of boxing is rearing its head again and costing us a big fight in boxing. I think Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford pretty much want to fight. The second half of the question was, what was the second half question you asked me?
Do you think it's a dangerous fight to have between, like, is it a losable fight in your eyes, or do you think that now that Earl possibly had to have an opponent himself, do you think this will call Earl to get out and get a fight for himself?
I don't think it's a losable fight, but I think he may not look like himself because he's been out so long. And, you know, if he struggles for a little while, he gets hurt, anything, it can be, people try to use that as, you know, as a shot at Terrence Crawford, saying, you know, that he's not ready for Spence, or that's the reason why he don't deserve this or that, because he's struggling with this no-name guy. Even though, like I said, the guy is ranked. So he is not just, you know, a tomato can. He is a ranked guy in 3 or 4 sanctioned bodies. But to the normal fan, they look at him as just a tomato can. So if he don't just watch this guy, he have any bit of trouble, he's gonna get unwanted criticism for it. As for Spence, I'm gonna be honest, I'm afraid, because I think Spence is tired of being at 147, and my biggest fear is that Spence is gonna drop the belt and go to 154, and what's gonna happen is Terrence probably gonna have to make a decision if he wants to try to get those 2 or 3 belts that he's gonna have to get at 147, or do he just want to move up and go fuck with Charlo and Spence at 154 and go up to 154. That's the only thing that scares me right there, because I can see Spence, because he said it on a tweet last night saying that he had a hard time making 147. He been in there for 10 years, he's tired of making it. So he may say, well, fuck it, I'm going to 154. If he want to fight, he's going to fight me at 154. And Terrence Crawford may not want to. The second part of that could be an issue is that change the negotiations. Because one of the things that Spence has is he had the 3 belts at 147. So if Terrence Crawford decides to move up and they both are beltless at 154, Terrence Crawford may say, I'm not taking 35%, because now you're not a 3-belt, 147-pound champion. We both are beltless, then I can go on my accolades, you can go on your sales, but you don't have as much leverage to demand that big of a share, because now you're not a 3-belt holder at 147. So that could cause another issue as far as negotiations, on top of the transparency that apparently PBC is not willing to give him. As far as a fighter, for him to fight, to me, if he going to stay at 147, maybe staying on this wouldn't be a bad fight. He said he don't want to fight Keith Thurman. I'm gonna take his word for it. He don't want it. That would make sense maybe to go and get Keith Thurman, but he said he don't want to mess with Keith Thurman. That ain't happening. So staying on this, I think, will be the next most realistic option, because I don't think he gonna fight Boots Ennis. I'm just being honest. I think it's too big of a risk for low reward. He's just too dangerous. Boots Ennis is the next wave of great young guys that he gonna lead the way. And for Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence to mess with him, it just don't make realistic sense. From a boxing standpoint, yeah, we would love for one of them to say, fuck it, I'll fight Boots, but it's not gonna happen. So y'all can start wishing now for as far as Keith Thurman, some of them guys that need that boost, they might have to jump in the ring with the guys or Thurman. But for Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence, they at the top. They don't have to fuck with Boots right now. Maybe at 154, they might have to deal with him, but you know, that's why I take out of the whole situation at this point.